Hello students, today we shall read the poem The Cloud written by P.B. Shelley. This is one of the best poem written by P.B. Shelley. As you know very well that P.B. Shelley is also one of the most romantic poets or the romantic revival that took place in literature from 1770 to 1820. And during that period, we have many other romantic poets like Wordsworth, Coleridge, Keats, Byron, Robert Southey, etc. The important feature of the romantic revival or the romantic poetry is that it is subjective, that it is written on nature, it focuses on the self-satisfaction, and that all the romantic poets, including Wordsworth, Coleridge, Shelley, Keats, Byron, Southey, Blake, they all were influenced by the French Revolution, which took place in France in 1789. And you know very well that French Revolution stood for freedom, fraternity, and equality. So these poets, their ideas were also influenced by French Revolution and its ideals. Shelley was very much influenced, and in his view he wanted to change the system. He wanted to bring the institutional changes in the society. What they saw that the people are very suffering and people are very sad. The systems have collapsed. They have become old. So such poets wanted to bring the change in the society or in the institutions. So in real sense, P.B. Shelley is considered one of the revolutionary poets. And these ideas, his spirit, revolutionary spirit, his attitude, his personality, revolutionary personality, all are depicted in his poems, in his writings. His writings resembles his personality. He is very much well known as a lyric writer also. Whatever the poems that he has written, they are in the form of lyric, Geet. This poem that we have in our syllabus, dear students, in your BA Part 1 syllabus, we have only the one poem written by Shelley, that is The Cloud, which was written in during late 1819 or early 1820 and was submitted for publication on 12 July 1820. That is published on 12 July 1820. So far, P.B. Shelley is concerned, he was born on 4th August 1792 and died in 8 July 1820. One of the major English romantic poets. He died very young, just like Keats. If you see, you will find that he remained only for 30 years. He lived only for 30 years. And in that short span of his life, he had written marvelous work, which are immortal works, and we still inspire ourselves from his works. Harold Bloom calls Shelley a superb craftsman, a lyric poet without rival. There is no rival. Even some other critics says that if Shakespeare, after Shakespeare, if Shelley had long lived, we would remember Shelley as next to William Shakespeare. He would be the Shakespeare or the second Shakespeare of English literature. Surely one of the most advanced sceptical intellects ever to write a poem. Radical in his poetry, that is very revolutionary, in favor of change, as well as in his political and social views. Although he did not achieve fame during his lifetime, but his recognition of his achievement in poetry grew steadily following his death. And then he became an important influence on subsequent generations of poets. So in this way, what we are doing here, I am trying to give you some of the important points regarding the introduction of poet, as well as of the poem. What the poem is about, we will discuss now. So far his works are concerned, very important works that we know are the poems, just like Ozymandias, which was written in 1818, Ode to the West Wind, which was written in 1819, To a Skylark, written in 1820. These are the best poems ever written in literature. Other major works, just like verse drama, that is Sensi in 1819, long poems such as Alastor or The Spirit of Solitude, Julian and Meadowlark, Adonis, Prometheus Unbound, that is the long poem and very famous poem written by William Shelley, P.B. Shelley, widely considered his masterpiece, Hylas. And his final, which was the unfinished work, that is the Triumph of Life, which was written in 1820, and during that writing he also died. Now, if we talk about this poem that we are going to study or we are going to understand, that is the cloud. And all of you know very well the meaning of the cloud, and what is the cloud, we all are familiar. So this is perhaps the most important one in Shelley's poetry in the terms of imagery and symbols. So the poem is full of imagery and symbols. Symbols हैं इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा, इसमें imagery है. इसमें poet जो करता है create, वो हमारे सामने imagery create करता है. We begin to imagine. He depicts the nature. He paints actually, and that painting, that depiction is before us, and we imagine that such things are happening before us, and symbols are also used. Just the cloud is also the symbol. Cloud is a metaphor here, and what for the cloud stands, that is the cloud stands for the force and harbinger of revolution. And we know that Shelley was very great lover of revolution. So if you see another poem just like the West Wind, that is also the poem which gives the impression of revolution or the change. So the cloud here is also the symbol of a greater force which brings the rain, which brings the flood, which brings the other things also, changes in the environment or on the earth. So it is the symbol of the force and the harbinger of revolution. It is the agent of change, the same which inspires one to move from apathy to spiritual vitality. Cloud is also symbol of dynamic because it moves, it is creative. Why it is creative? Because it creates the rain, it brings the rain. And in this poem, the cloud has also been personified. Personified means जैसे व्यक्ति काम करता है उसी तरह से क्लाउड को भी ऐसे शो किया गया है कि he is working like a man, like a person. He is angelic, that comes from the heaven. Immortal, cloud is also immortal. It never dies. But there is a circulation. There is a circle of becoming the cloud, of making of the cloud. And mythical, definitely it is a mythical myths describes, and we think that it is an imaginary thing, and we begin to think. So here the cloud is treated as a kind of essential element which binds and sustains all other things. It supplies the soil, the earth, with rain, and in that way the earth regenerate the things. So it is a symbol of the regeneration. It produces the crops, it produces the other things on the earth. Then what else? The cloud gives shade to the saplings, पौधों को जो है कि छाया देता है, ripeness, fruits को ripeness मिलती है. ये सब इस पोएम के अंदर पोइट के द्वारा क्लाउड के थ्रू डिस्क्राइब किया गया है कि क्लाउड क्या क्या करता है. क्लाउड का जो सिंबल है, सिंबॉलिक जो मीनिंग है वो ये है कि क्लाउड के फंक्शंस ये हैं. क्लाउड रिवोल्यूशन का ब्रिंगर है और ये जैसे गार्डनर की तरह भी काम करता है, नर्स की तरह काम करता है, मदर की तरह भी काम करता है और एक थ्रेशर के रूप में, काटने वाली जो होती है उसके रूप में भी ये काम करता है. एंड विच इज़ द aggressive nature too. So by employing this form of personification, Shelley is able to endow the nature with the powers and attributes of the immortal gods. The cloud is made a minor divinity. So the cloud is just like a divine force, and it just like a person, it also brings the change in the nature. The cloud is not only capable of changing, but it is also not capable of dying. That is, it never dies. It brings the changes, but cloud itself never dies. It comes again and again. And we have seen that it becomes the gardener that brings rain to the thirsty flowers. Just like a gardener gives water to the flowers, to the plants, to the trees, in the same way, the cloud also brings the water and quenches the thirst of the plant or thirst of the flowers. और it also acts like a nurse. नर्स की तरह भी काम करता है, जैसे कोई नर्स अपने बच्चे को देखभाल करती है. उसी तरह से ये सूर्य जब बहुत तेज होता है उस समय ये हमारी सबकी देखभाल करता है. जब क्लाउड आ जाता है तो जो सूर्य की जो तेज गर्मी है उससे ये क्लाउड हमारी सुरक्षा करता है. और एक बर्ड के रूप में भी, जो कि शेक्स इट्स ड्यू ओवर द बर्ड्स. जो बर्ड्स जो होते हैं, कलियां होती हैं, उनके ऊपर जो है कि ड्यूज जो ओस है वो फैलाता है. और एक थ्रेशर के रूप में भी, जो कि थ्रेशर जैसे जो बीज वगैरह, अनाज वगैरह होती है, उसको हार्वेस्टिंग के बाद में जब क्रॉप की हार्वेस्टिंग होती है तो उसके बाद अलग करता है, कचरा अलग करता है. इस प्रकार से ये भी क्लाउड ऐसा फंक्शन करता है. ये सोता भी है, हंसता भी है, तैरता भी है. Pursues a beloved, folds its wings like a bird, It broods, marches through the rainbow triumphantly. So रेनबो के थ्रू भी जो है कि जब ये रेनबो होता है तो रेनबो हमें हंसता हुआ नजर आता है, फ्लोटिंग करता हुआ नजर आता है. और we like rainbow just like we like our beloved. So we love rainbow. Like a bird, it folds its wings. अपने विंग्स की फोल्डिंग करता है ये, और उसी तरह से ब्रूडिंग करता है और फिर आगे बढ़ता रहता है. So it is obviously the common symbol of Shelleyan revolution. Okay, so this was the introduction about the poet as well as about the poem that we are going to read. Now, in this lecture today, I have taken just one stanza from this poem, and we will try to explain this stanza, and then in our further videos we will discuss the other stanzas of this poem. There are 6 stanzas in all in this poem, and now we are taking only the stanza number 1 for our reading. So let me recite the lines written by Shelley. I bring fresh showers for the thirsting flowers from the seas and the streams. I bear light shade for the leaves when late in their noonday dreams. From my wings are shaken the dews that waken the sweet birds everywhere. When rocked to the rest on their mother's breast, as she dances about the sun, I wield the flail of the lashing hail and whiten the green plains under, and then again I dissolve it in rain and laugh as I pass in thunder. So this is the stanza number 1 of this poem. Dear students, so what the poet says here, let's go with the meaning of this stanza. So as we have come to know that the poem is full of the imagery and symbols. See how the poem starts. The poem starts with the first person I. So here I, who is the I? I is here the speaker. And who is the speaker in this poem? The cloud itself is the speaker in this poem. So the cloud says that I bring fresh showers for the thirsting flowers. The flowers which are thirsty, I bring for them water. I bring water for them so that they can quench their thirst. अब मैं कहाँ से लाता हूँ ये पानी? From the seas and the streams. समुद्र से और स्ट्रीम से जो है कि मैं इन thirsty flowers के लिए पानी लाता हूँ, ताज़ा पानी लाता हूँ. That is, it comes in the form of the rain that we see. So the clouds are the bringer of the rain, we know very well. I bear light shade for the leaves when laid in their noonday dreams. जब पेड़ की जो पत्तियां हैं वो दोपहर की तेज गर्मी के अंदर ड्रीम करती रहती हैं, उस समय मैं उनको क्या करता हूँ? शेड प्रदान करता हूँ, छाया प्रदान करता हूँ. आई कम इन द वे ऑफ द सन एंड आई कवर्स द bright heat of the sun, and in this way I give the shade to the leaves which are sleeping in the noon time. From my wings are shaken the dews. और जब मैं चलता हूँ तो जो मेरी विंग्स हैं उनसे क्या होता है? ड्यूज हिलती है, ओस की जो किरणें वो हिलती हैं, जो कि स्वीट बर्ड्स को एवरीडे जगाती है. मानी स्वीट जो फ्लावर्स हैं उनको मॉर्निंग में जो ओस है वो जगाती है, उनको फ्रेश रखती हैं, ताज़ा रखती हैं. When rocked to rest on their mother's breast, when these birds, when these flowers are resting on their mother's breast. When I move, I bring the water, and that uh, water is thrown upon them, and due to that water, due to that dew, जो ओस होती है, ओस की वजह से इनके अंदर ताजगी आती है. एज शी डांसेज अबाउट द सन. और जब सुबह हम देखते हैं, जब सूर्य सनराइज होता है, तो ऐसा लगता है कि ये सब डांस कर रहे हैं. अर्थात ये जो स्वीट बर्ड्स हैं, कलियां हैं, दे आर डांसिंग इन द सन in the morning, and that is all due to the cloud. It is the cloud which has this function. Then he says that I wield the flail of the lashing hail. क्लाउड कहता है कि मैं लेशिंग हेल भी लाता हूँ. लेशिंग हेल का मतलब है जो ओले हैं वो भी लेके आता हूँ. ओले के जो फ्लेल हैं, फ्लैक्स हैं जो हैं, और इस तरह से जो ग्रीन जो प्लेन्स हैं नीचे, उन सबको मैं वाइट कर देता हूँ. जब ओले गिरते हैं, बर्फ गिरती है, तो सारा जो ग्रीनरी जो एरिया है, फील्ड है, वो सब प्लेन सब क्या हो जाते हैं, वाइट हो जाते हैं. दैट वी सी इन शिमला, दैट वी सी इन कश्मीर, दैट वी सी इन कोल्ड रीजन्स. सो दिस इज द ऑल द फंक्शन ऑफ द क्लाउड, ड्यू टू द क्लाउड. एंड देन अगेन फिर से क्या होता है कि आई डिजोल्व इट इन द रेन. और इस तरह से जब मैं लेके आता हूँ फ्लेल और लेशिंग हेल, वो सब क्या होते हैं, बरसात में चेंज हो जाते हैं, डिजोल्व हो जाते हैं. और इस तरह से आई लाफ एज आई पास इन थंडर. तो उस समय मैं हंस रहा होता हूँ जब मैं थंडर में होके गुजरता हूँ. थंडर, स्टॉर्म, तूफान. और जब बिजली कड़कती है, जब बादल गरजने की आवाज़ आती है, तो जो गर्जना जो है बादल का, दैट इज़ ए काइंड ऑफ लाफिंग ऑफ द क्लाउड. सो हियर इट हैज़ बीन डिस्क्राइब्ड सिम्बॉलिकली. It has been, the imagery has been used when the clouds moves, when the clouds brings the hail, when the clouds bring the rain. So this is what we have, the stanza number 1 of this poem. So this first stanza states the various activities and functions of the cloud. So what we have seen, the different activities and functions which were done by the cloud. So action number 1, that it brings the fresh showers from the seas and rivers for thirsty flowers. Second, that it provides shade for the leaves when they sleep during the daytime. Okay. Third, it showers down upon birds that open up after being fed in this manner. तो जो बर्ड्स हैं उनके ऊपर ये शॉवर डाउन करता है, जिसको हम ओस बोलते हैं. उससे जब मॉर्निंग में जब है, ये इनके खिलते हुए चेहरे बर्ड्स के कलियों के होते हैं. और कभी कभी जो है कि क्लाउड्स जो है हेल भी लाता है, ओले, जिनको हम कहते हैं, जो ग्रीन पेल्स को कवर कर देता है विद ए वाइट कॉट, एज वी नो. बट सून एनफ ये सब डिजोल्व हो जाता है हेल से रेन के अंदर. इस तरह से दिस इज द पोएम दैट वी हैव बीन रीडिंग, written by P.B. Shelley. I hope you will enjoy this poem when you go through this poem, when you read this poem, when you read it again and again, and try to understand the meaning of this poem. So this is what from me for today. Thank you, students, and we will meet with the explanation of other stanzas of the poem in our next videos. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.